Okay, guys, take a walk with me. So, Spirit's been putting on my heart this season. I've always want to get online and like do videos and all this stuff, but to be honest, balancing being a mother and having personal clients, it gets really hard to really get on and do videos as planned. But Spirit just said, you know what? Just whenever you get a thought, whenever you feel something, whenever you get guidance to do something or whatever, just pick up the phone, record it, and then post it. There's not much to it. I was like, okay, cool, you know? So I have to watch the store to go get something. So I was like, all right, let me just take this time and have something to say. So it's funny, I was literally, I think the inspiration for this conversation, it first started off when it came to, and it's getting dark in some spots, so the lighting's not gonna be that right, it's like dark outside. It started off when it came to me, I think it's the conversation started off, or where the thought sprouted from, is when I was thinking about like, certain people that had to come into the industry or be public about who they were and being different, and like just how times have changed, because in case you guys know, I'm 36 years old. We're about to be 36 in 2 weeks. And back in my day, especially when I first started out in this industry doing spiritual readings and stuff like that, it wasn't as well received. It wasn't as well represented as much as it is now. Like, being into what I believe in and being a spiritualist is almost like the everyday norm now. Everybody's into it. But like, there's certain trailblazers that had to take the like whippings on the back in order for certain people to be able to speak their voice and actually be free with how and what they believe in. And I think the point I'm trying to get at is that there's a lot of people that are getting into spirituality, and a lot of my different clients, and they've been feeling like very divine messages and having very divine experiences where the people that are around them are not as awakened as they are, or they're still in a very third dimensional way of thinking, considering what we do as being demonic or dark or whatever the case may be. And I think I wanted to put this video up to like encourage everybody that there's nothing more important in life than things that feed your soul, things that make you happy, things that bring you peace. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what people have to say about something that you do, whether it even be spirituality, it could be anything. If it's not something, if their narrative is not something that speaks to your soul, that's when you already know what decision you're supposed to be making. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to set by example. This world is full about seeing and believing. You know what I mean? If you can't see anything beyond the veil, people don't even believe it exists. And I just advise it's very important to like allow yourself to experience. Hold on, my head's about to drop out. I don't need that. Allow yourself to experience, like, and be open with rejection. And also, don't expect people to understand your journey. I've been through a lot of shit over the past few years that were very interesting challenges and trials that I went through. And I'm sure a lot of people that I shared them with didn't exactly understand what the hell I was even going through. And I'm sure at some points there were judgment in there too. But at the end of the day, I sat with myself, especially coming to the tail end and coming to that awakening of it and saying, you know what? If it wasn't for the things I went through, even though people can't understand what I went through, I really wouldn't be where I am today. I really wouldn't have the knowledge. I really wouldn't have the understanding. I really wouldn't have the depth and the rhetoric to be able to even help the people that come my way. You know what I mean? And I stopped to myself and I was like, I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Like, what would life have been like if I actually gave a shit what people thought? You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in the church. You know what I mean? My parents were actually like, they weren't like churchgoers, but I always went to church. I've always loved God, and I know when I started off in this business and doing what I did, I lost friends. I lost certain people that that I knew for a very long time, that I thought that they would be happy for me because I was in the most happiest space of like discovering me and who I was. And not everybody is always welcome to put a death to the person they've allowed themselves to believe that you are, or who you are to them and how it benefits them. You know what I mean? And I constantly remind myself, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, people don't have to understand. And this is for anyone, for you to know, like, people don't need to fucking get what it is you do and how you do it, because that's what makes you unique and makes you special to what you do, you know? And you have to also constantly remind yourself and constantly check in if you're living your life for yourself, or are you living it for others. I've literally watched people watch the best thing that's ever happened to them walk out of their life because it didn't fit the narrative of the people they were around. You know what I mean? And I think there was times too that I've allowed myself in my past to make things, I hindered myself from actually seeing blessings in situations because of who I may offend or who hurt or whatever the case may be. And I guess I've been saying in this video is like, just always trust your divinity, because for everything divine you experience, there's always going to be messages that align with the purpose. You know what I mean? Like, some of the things I know now and some of the things I went through, if I never went through it or never knew it, like, I probably wouldn't be here standing here talking to you. You know what I mean? So that's the message I want to leave. It's just always stay true to you. And if you don't know what that is, always show God, or always ask God to guide you, because God will always show you, gladly show you who you are. And how you measure knowing what's you opposed to what you're being conditioned is based on how you really feel in your heart center, not how it feels in your mind. Right? So I thought I'll leave that with you. A little quick message. I know you probably couldn't see me most of the video because it's dark outside, but hey, doesn't really matter you seeing me. All that matters is heard, you know? Like wrens. Today I was walking all I was seeing was a bunch of wrens. And the symbolism of wrens is that they're often heard but never seen. They have a way of camouflaging themselves, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for your support, and especially the last reading the last video I did. I actually had a few people message me, DM me, and say thank you for that message. So that was just confirmation for me that what I'm doing, I'm supposed to continue doing. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I appreciate the support. But yeah, just leave something in the comments. Like, share your experiences with me. Like, what's something that you've had to do in your life where you kind of felt like the world was against you by making that decision, where you didn't exactly get the support, but you kept pushing through? I want to hear your guys' experiences, because of course I'm talking in the context of my spirituality, but it doesn't mean that everybody was faced with a similar challenge and it had to do with only spirituality alone, right? So yeah, put that in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to like this video. And if you want to get a private reading with me, you guys can always hit me up via DM on Instagram or on my email. So I want to thank you so much for your time and rock it with me. May God bless you and the angels protect you. Good night.